Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters. Today I want to speak to you about a quality that is so deeply cherished in Islam, yet so difficult to truly embody. And that is patience. Not just the ordinary patience we practice in everyday life, but the kind of patience that is rooted in complete trust in Allah. Patience that becomes a shield for our hearts, and patience that turns every difficulty into an opportunity for growth. Life is filled with trials. Every single day, each one of us faces challenges, some visible, some hidden. There are moments when our hearts are heavy, when our spirits feel low, and when we question why life has become so difficult. Perhaps we have lost someone we love dearly, or maybe we are struggling to achieve a goal that seems impossible. Sometimes we face disappointments in our work, or we find ourselves surrounded by people who do not understand our struggles. And in these moments, patience is tested like never before. But here is the beauty of patience. It is not just about enduring, it is about trusting Allah completely. It is about believing in the unseen, about knowing with certainty that every difficulty we face is not random, and that every challenge has a purpose that only Allah knows. Allah tells us in the Holy Quran that He never burdens a soul beyond its capacity. He knows our limits, He knows our strength, and He knows exactly what we can handle. This is a profound comfort for the believer. When we remind ourselves of this, we realize that no matter how heavy our trials feel, they are always within the bounds of our ability, and there is a wisdom behind every challenge that we may not yet understand. Patience is also a reflection of our trust in Allah's plan. Sometimes we want things to happen quickly. We want our prayers answered immediately. We want our problems solved without delay. And we want our desires fulfilled according to our timetable. But Allah knows what is best for us. What we perceive as a delay or an obstacle may actually be a blessing in disguise. Perhaps there is a greater lesson we need to learn, or a greater reward awaiting us that we cannot yet see. When we practice patience, we are essentially saying, "Oh Allah, I trust you even when I do not understand, even when my heart is heavy, even when my soul feels restless. I trust your wisdom, I trust your timing, and I know that you are the best of planners." This kind of patience transforms our entire outlook on life. It is not a passive waiting, but an active, conscious surrender to Allah's decree. It allows us to face adversity with courage, and it protects us from despair and hopelessness. It teaches us that life's difficulties are not punishments, but opportunities for spiritual growth. Every hardship we endure with patience strengthens our faith, purifies our hearts, and draws us closer to Allah. It reminds us that our true success is not measured by worldly achievements, but by the strength of our faith and the depth of our trust in our Creator. When we look at the lives of the prophets, peace be upon them, we see the ultimate example of patience in the face of trials. They endured unimaginable hardships, faced rejection, persecution, and loss, yet they never wavered in their trust in Allah. They understood that patience is not just about enduring, it is about embracing trials as a means of drawing closer to Allah. And this is exactly what Allah asks from us: to be patient, to remain steadfast, and to keep our hearts firm in faith, no matter how difficult the situation may appear. My dear brothers and sisters, we have already discussed how patience is a form of trust in Allah. But today I want to talk about another profound aspect of patience, how it protects our hearts and allows us to find true peace in life. In today's fast-paced world, many of us are constantly overwhelmed by emotions: anger, frustration, jealousy, and resentment. These emotions, if left unchecked, can disturb our inner peace, destroy relationships, and weaken our connection with Allah. And this is where patience plays a vital role. Patience is not simply the act of waiting. It is not just about enduring difficulty in silence. True patience is a conscious choice to respond with wisdom, calmness, and faith, even when life pushes us to react impulsively. When someone wrongs us, our instinct may be to retaliate, to speak harshly, or to hold grudges. But when we exercise patience, we protect our hearts from bitterness. We prevent anger from clouding our judgment, and we allow ourselves to respond with grace rather than haste. This is a profound form of strength, one that goes beyond physical endurance and enters the realm of the spiritual. Our hearts are delicate, and they can be wounded easily. When we react impulsively, we often end up hurting not only others but also ourselves. Anger, resentment, and impatience are like toxins that linger in our hearts. They disturb our sleep, weigh down our spirit, and distance us from Allah. But patience acts as a shield, safeguarding our hearts from these toxic emotions. It teaches us to pause, reflect, and respond in a way that aligns with the teachings of Islam. It reminds us that every situation, no matter how difficult, can be approached with composure and faith. Imagine for a moment a life where patience guides your every interaction. When someone speaks harshly to you, instead of responding in anger, you pause and reflect. When circumstances do not go your way, instead of despairing, you turn to Allah with a calm heart. When someone envies your success, instead of feeling bitterness, you respond with gratitude and humility. This is the peace that patience brings, a serenity that cannot be shaken by external circumstances, because it is rooted in trust and faith. Patience also allows us to maintain harmonious relationships. Family, friends, and colleagues will make mistakes, and misunderstandings are inevitable. But when patience governs our interactions, we approach conflicts with empathy, forgiveness, and understanding. We avoid unnecessary arguments, and we protect our hearts from carrying the burden of resentment. Patience does not mean weakness. On the contrary, it is a sign of inner strength and wisdom. It is the courage to rise above impulsive emotions and respond in a manner that preserves both our dignity and our spiritual well-being. Furthermore, patience creates a peaceful environment not only within ourselves but also around us. When our hearts are calm, our actions reflect that calmness. We speak gently, we act thoughtfully, and we inspire those around us to seek harmony rather than chaos. A patient heart becomes a source of light in a world often consumed by stress and anger. Allah loves those who are patient, and He promises in the Quran that those who practice patience will receive His mercy and guidance. The inner peace that patience brings is a blessing that cannot be bought, earned, or forced. It is a reward for those who endure trials with faith and respond to life's challenges with composure. Patience is a seed that, when nurtured, grows into immense blessings. When we face trials and delays, our natural instinct is to feel frustrated or discouraged. We may question why our efforts are not yielding results, or why our prayers seem unanswered. But Allah, in His infinite wisdom, teaches us that everything happens in its perfect time. Sometimes what we see as a delay is actually a form of divine protection. Perhaps if our desires were fulfilled immediately, they would harm us in ways we cannot foresee. Or maybe the delay is a test, an opportunity for us to grow, strengthen our faith, and develop resilience. By being patient, we align ourselves with Allah's plan, and we open the door to blessings that we could never have imagined. Consider the story of a person striving for success, whether in their studies, career, or personal life. The journey may be difficult. There may be setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. But those who practice patience do not give up. They continue their efforts with sincerity and trust in Allah. They do not allow frustration to take over, nor do they lose hope. And in time, Allah rewards their perseverance. What may have seemed impossible eventually becomes attainable, and what was once delayed arrives at the perfect moment. This is the beauty of patience. It transforms struggle into triumph and endurance into blessings. Patience is also a powerful means of attracting divine rewards. Every act of patience, no matter how small, is recorded and valued by Allah. When we face hardships and choose patience over complaint, when we resist anger and choose forgiveness over retaliation, we are earning immense rewards from Allah. These rewards are not always visible in this life, but they manifest in ways that truly matter: peace of mind, contentment in the heart, strengthened relationships, and ultimately eternal success in the hereafter. Those who endure patiently are promised not only relief from their trials, but also blessings that surpass their imagination. Moreover, patience shapes our character in ways that nothing else can. It teaches humility, strengthens faith, and cultivates gratitude. When we patiently navigate life's challenges, we learn to appreciate the blessings we already have. We begin to understand that every trial carries wisdom, and every hardship holds a hidden gift. Patience refines our soul, molds our character, and prepares us for the responsibilities that come with true success. Without patience, even the greatest opportunities can become burdens, and the easiest blessings can slip through our fingers. Think about it: the person who rushes through life, who complains at every delay, or who loses hope at the first sign of difficulty, rarely experiences the full depth of Allah's blessings. But the patient one, who endures with faith, who perseveres despite obstacles, and who trusts in Allah's plan, sees life differently. Every trial becomes an opportunity, every delay becomes a lesson, and every hardship becomes a stepping stone toward success. Patience allows us to receive the reward of our efforts fully, to savor the blessings that Allah has prepared, and to achieve success that is meaningful and lasting. So, my dear brothers and sisters, remember this: patience is not passive. It is active faith in action. It is the key that unlocks Allah's blessings, the bridge that leads to true success, and the virtue that transforms ordinary efforts into extraordinary outcomes. When you face challenges, do not despair. When results seem delayed, do not lose hope. Trust Allah, endure patiently, and continue to strive sincerely. In doing so, you are planting seeds that will grow into blessings beyond your imagination, both in this life and in the hereafter. May Allah grant us the strength to be patient in every trial, to persevere in every effort, and to receive His blessings with gratitude and humility. May He guide us to success, protect us from impatience, and allow us to experience the full reward of our patience. Ameen.